Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. Really good to have you with me. Just pinning my hair back. So today I am doing a project that I saw Jackie Quayler from our Facebook group shared an image of something she'd done, and that was inspired by a video from Luise Hinzel. And I've seen this a few times. I've seen Luise's video a long time ago. I didn't realise until I watched it again. And I've seen other people do this. Excuse me. So I thought I'd have a go for my current project. I was going to tidy my desk up, but it was a case of I'm going to do this piece of ephemera now, and I either filmed it messy or didn't film it at all. So that's where we are. So to do this, you're going to need 2 envelopes. You are going to need envelopes that have a long flap. And you're going to need some papers to decorate the envelopes with. You're going to need some papers to create some journal spots. And if you're going to follow to the letter of the law, then you will need some eyelets, some something to use the eyelets with, crocodile-y thing, or whatever your equivalent is, some glues, some inks, but I'll take you through the project, and yeah, hopefully it will come together. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to take my envelopes and I am going to excuse me, I am going to decorate these. Now, I'm going to decorate, this is the flap I want to decorate at the moment, but I'm going to go further than the flap, and it will all become clear as to why I'm going to do that. So I'll just get started, and yeah, hope you follow along. My glue is all glued. So I'm going to probably go about this far up, and I am going to now this is just kit pages. I'm just spreading the glue on the edges because sometimes it has a tendency not to take. So I'm just using pages from the new kit, and I'm just going to pop that on there like that. Try and keep it as straight as I can. And I'm going to let that dry a moment, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the other envelope. These are just one of the collage pages. I've printed the same page out a few times to use for this project. Like so. Then what we're going to do is we are going to carefully cut around the envelope like so. So we've got our 2 envelopes. I will now want to decorate the inside of the flaps, and I'm going to do that just using this paper left over from the other piece. On dog duty, sorry. So yeah, I'm just going to cut this one out here as well. Like so. So again, we've got both sides covered really nicely. Then what we're going to do, got a fly. Then what we're going to do is we are going to cut a piece of paper that is going to go on the inside here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to glue this on as such. I'm going to measure this. If I can find my pencil. Oopsie daisy. And I'm going to get 2 pieces and I'm going to cut the same amount from both pieces. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces at the same time just so that I have got my I've got the same size, if you know what I mean. So there. And there. And then what I'm going to do with these inside, these pieces here, is these are going to be glued on here. Just need to be a little bit careful with the glue in here because we've got nothing here. We don't want it to glue to that inside piece. So I'm going to use some, I'm going to use some art glitter glue on this. Just because I don't want there to be any excess seepage, and just got to be a little bit careful with popping this on. So that is going to go on here. Like so. Which will then give us a pocket here. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. I may need to just go across the edges once I've finished to make sure it's set well. And then this one here is going to go on here like that. Okay, so we've now got 2 envelopes. We've got the flap covered on both of them, and we've got the inside, so the opening section, we've put a piece on that to give us a couple of pockets here and here. Okay, so we're getting there. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to pop these to one side, and I'm going to want to create a journal spot or a little notepad, something along those lines. So I've got some paper here, and I do have some kit paper, but what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to fold it in half like that, and I'm going to fold it in half like that. Okay, so I folded it in half horizontally and then over the other way. I want to check to see what that looks like in terms of the fit, and I'm quite happy with that because I don't want it to be too much of the same size of this. So I'm going to do that with another couple of pages. Doesn't matter which way you do them, just so long as you get the same fit. So I've got 4 sheets of paper now, and what I'm going to do is make sure that I've got them all the same way, so they're all open at the top, like that, like that. What we need to do now is we need to chop a little bit off the bottom. I'm going to have to chop a little bit off the top of these as well because of the way the print is. I haven't taken all the white border off, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm just taking that off now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut just to take a slither off this folded piece here. Okay, so this piece here, I want to take a slither off that. So we end up with, oops, Daisy, we end up with this. So what we end up with here is 4, well, not more 4, it's more than 4 pages. I want that piece there at the top. So I'm just going to watch how I fold. That one's still attached slightly, so I'm just going to cut that off. Like that. And we've got another 2 over here, like that. So what we've got in essence is a notebook. Now, because of the way they're folded, you've got this little excess piece where the fact that the fold is kind of pushing out. I don't know how to describe it. The fold is pushing the paper out, so the second sheet in is being pushed further, and the third sheet even further again, and the 4th sheet. So I'm going to just take these end bits off just to make this nice and tidy. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm having a hard time today. Nothing wants to go away. So I've got a little notebook here, and that is going to be a notebook attached here. Now, I'm going to just see what this looks like a minute, because I don't want it to be too thick, but I don't want it to be too thin either, but I think that might be just a little bit too thick. So, let's have a look. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go for 6 instead of 8. And that's going to be a bit better. Okay, so you've got the idea. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating an envelope with a wraparound journal notebook, pocket here, and 2 individual pockets here. That's what we're going for. So what I'm going to do before we do anything else is I'm just going to do a little bit of inking. I'm just going to ink the edges of this like that. I'm not going to go into each individual page, just the edges like that. And I'm going to ink around our envelopes. And the reason we've put the paper this far down is because we're going to be attaching these envelopes back to front. And I don't want there to be cream envelopes showing. So that's what we've done with that. So that is going to be our kind of booklet, if you like. The next thing we need to do is we're going to be sewing this into our envelope. It's going to be almost like a signature being sewn in. What I want though before we start is I want some fabric on here. Now this, I don't know where I got this fabric from, but it's ideal. So I'm going to measure how much I need, because I don't really want to waste too much. I'm going to use that for something else that we're going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure that all of these are nice and tight. I'm going to pop a little clip on there to keep them together. And I am going to put some fabric tack on the end, like that, so that I can pop this lace on there, like that. Then we're going to pop a little bit of fabric tack, oops, or more than a little bit, on the other side. And I'm going to pop the lace over there, like that. So not only does that give a little bit of stability, just going to pop these on until it dries. Not only does it give a little bit of stability, it also will show on the end of our page, or on the end of our little folio thing. Okay. So, we're getting there. I'm going to wait for everything to dry for a moment, and then we'll come back and do the next stage. So I won't be long. Okay, so I'm happy that that has dried, and that is going to be our little booklet. I need to put a little bit more glue on there. Oops-a-daisy. Let's see on the other side, I think is okay. Okay, so that's fine. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this here. Let's get these out of the way first. So I'm going to match these up. And I'm going to pin those two together. And then I am going to wrap this like this and try to position it where I want it. So I don't want it too far up because of the pockets. I don't want it right at the bottom. So I'm pretty happy with that there, I think. So I'm going to pin that there and that there. So pin both sides. And I'm going to open this up. I have to take that one off. And we need to now attach these two envelopes together. Let's see again how much of a space that's given. We've just undone all of the matching up, so let's start again. Start again. Okay. So we need to attach this together, but it needs to be pretty much obviously as straight as you can get it, but you need to leave enough of a space for that booklet to fold. Okay, so I'm guesstimating this, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, just going to put a little bit of tape in there a minute, because I think that's roughly where it's going to be. Okay, so let's just fold that and make sure it folds comfortably, which it does. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to put some fabric there just to strengthen it, but that's going to be too thick. I don't want it to be too thick, I don't want it to be too thin, so perhaps actually I will use just some material just to keep this together. I think that should work. So let's just put some glue on here. Now remember, this is going to be on the inside. You're not going to see this, but you just want it to be strong enough that it holds. Okay. So I'm going to pop that there. And just give that a minute or two to dry. And while we're waiting for that, I am going to get my sewing kit, because we're going to stitch these signatures in. This is waxed thread. You can use embroidery floss, which usually goes quite well with this sort of thing. Yeah, loads of different choices with this. So I'm using the wax thread just because it's my favourite to use when I'm sewing in signatures. Okay, so let's fold this now. Now that fits on there well, which is great. So what we now have to do is we now have to stitch our signatures in. Okay, so that piece there is already clipped in. I'm going to clip this bottom piece together, and I am going to, where's my pokey tool? My awl is sometimes a little bit big, but my pokey tool is a little bit better. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm just creating 3 holes, and I'm going to try 3 holes, and I'm going to try and stitch this. It's a little bit tough, and I can't really see where those holes are, which is okay. Come on. Got the old shaky hands today. There we go. Pull that tight, make sure it's nice and tight there. And then just put a knot in here. And you can leave those to add some dangles or do whatever it is you want to do with them, or you can just cut it off completely. I'm going to leave that there so there's an option to do that later. What I am going to do though is I'm going to put another piece of tape on top of this because I don't want the thread, excuse me, to be caught when something's being put inside of the pocket, like that. So we can now take everything off, and we've got our little notebook attached to our little folder. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue this across the bottom and up the side, so it leaves us with a top opening. So I'm going to carefully close that. Going to make sure that that matches there, and excuse me, here I'm going to put a clip on there just to hold that in place, and a clip on here to hold that in place while that dries for a minute or two. Now, the reason I saved this was a fantastic, excuse me, idea that, excuse me, sorry, a fantastic idea that Luise had was that when we come to put a closure on here, sometimes it can kind of pull at this piece of envelope. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of glue here. Just a little bit there, and I'm going to pop that half of the leftover material, and we're going to pop a little bit here, and put the other half of that material, can't see it because that's in the way, sorry, but I'm just folding that material on there. So we've got a perfect little kind of nest in place there, which will protect anything that we try to do with this. Okay, so we're now really starting to take shape. What we have is we have a centre pocket here. Oh, that hasn't glued particularly well there. I think that was me though. That was definitely me. So we have a centre pocket here. Okay, which I'm not going to pull apart too much yet because I just want to make sure that that glue has definitely set. And then we also have, we open our envelopes, we have another pocket in here, which again I can't pull out at the moment too much because of these, but we have a pocket in there. Open this up here, and we have another pocket in here. What I'm also going to do with this is I'm going to take one of our pockets from the kit, and I'm going to pop that on here. Or what I might do actually, yeah, on this side here I've got a index card from the kit that I have just backed with some craft card. I'm going to glue that here and here. And I'm going to glue this to this part of the flap, inside of the flap, if you like. And I'm going to glue it all, because I don't want too many pockets, because it will get ridiculously thick very, very quickly. So I'm going to pop that there. So that gives us another pocket here. And on the other side, I'm going to pop this pocket here. Now, the whole point of this is that it's going to get quite bulky, so we're going to be really restricted as to what we can put in there. But it's nicer, I think, to have more options than not enough options. So what we now have is we have our little folio. We've got a pocket in here. We open this up and we've got a pocket here. Flip this open here and we've got another pocket in here. We've then got one side of a writing pad. We turn it over, we've got the second side of the writing pad. We've got a pocket in here again, and we've got another smaller pocket there. That pocket is ideal for like little tags, and I think I've got some here somewhere, some little, yeah. Let's have a look. Got some of the little dirty tags from the kit that you could put in there, or these would probably fit in there as well, but I haven't done anything with those yet. So that's the bulk of our piece. What I want to do now is decorate it a little bit. I haven't used any of the kit to cover this front sheet. Now you can either add something. We've got loads of scrap papers here, so we could, if we really wanted to, cut that. That would look quite cool. So that would be like that. So on this side, I'm going to do that. That'll go on there like that. On the other side though, I'm going to do a little bit of different decorating. So on this side, I am going to grab one of the pictures we were going to use. Now there are pictures with the kit, but I have got some Tim Holt stuff here that I may as well use. I'm just going to cut her head right off. Quite like that there. Now, if you really wanted to go overboard, you could add this on here as a tiny little pocket or as a text spot. I'm just going to glue that on there as a piece of embellishment. So that'll go there like that. And then I've also got the faux washi tape. So I'm going to use some of that. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to glue, oopsie daisy, just got some scrap card. I'm going to glue this paper on there like that. And I'm going to get the, I think this is the baby one. So I'm going to cut out four of these. I just lost one, so I'm going to cut another one. So I'm just going to quickly ink these. And the reason for these is literally I just want to add a little bit of strength to this. To this section here. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean now. Just going to glue that little bit down because it's coming off. And I'm going to pop this on there, like that. Oopsie daisy. I'm going to do the same on the other one. Pop that on there, like that. I am going to, I could put them underneath, but yeah, I think I will actually, just to be sure. So, one there. And one there. And then what we're going to do with this is we are going to put a hole through the centre. And exactly the same on the other side. If I can get that out. And then we're just going to put an eyelet in each of these. Oops, daisy. That wasn't very clever. Okay. So where were we? We were going to put some... No, that's my brats. Wonder what they'll look like on there. Let's have a quick look. They make it look awful. That's a little bit of something. And then I'm going to pop our eyelets in and hope they go through because this is now very thick. Okay. Okay. And one here. Couldn't remember which way that went in then. There we go. So the only thing we then have left to do is to put a closure on it. So what we got? We've got this lace, which I'm going to be using for the front of the journal, so that might work. I want a fairly decent size of both. We'll see what this looks like, and then we can always change our mind at a later date. So I'm just going to pop that through there. I'm going to try and pop that through there. Like that. And do exactly the same on this side. Like that. And then what we would do basically here is just do a little knot or a little bow or whatever it was you wanted to keep all of that together. And that would be our little folio. So I want to, if I can, see about putting some cards in here. So I've cut some of the postcards from the kit. I'm not going to back them because I think they will be too thick. That's what I'm worried about, is that they will be too thick. So I'm not going to back them, but I think they would fit quite well in here. So we're going to need something to pop on the top of these that will kind of hold these in place. So I'm just going to grab something on my desk. And I'm going to glue that onto here. Oopsie daisy. Like that. And then that would go in there. Why isn't that wanting to go in there? So that would go in there like that, and we'd keep that tag just on the top, so we got easy access. I will do the same with these, but I will back them first, I think. What are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? I've got some backing sheets here that might work. I think they might. So that will definitely go. Will I fit another one on here, do you think? Yeah. Okay, bear with me, because I'm utilising all my scraps here, which isn't a bad thing, and I'll come back to those now. So I'm just going to give these a quick cut. There's method to my madness, honestly. I'm going to take a bit more of that off. Like that. And I'm going to cut those two. And I don't suppose it really matters whether they're in half or not. And then I can just put some ink on these. And I'm also going to just put a little bit of a flower image on these two. One there, one there, one there, and one there. And then I'm going to glue these on to the cards. So I'm going to pop one here, like that. And then I'm going to pop one on the other side. No, I won't. Still stick to it there. So I'm hoping these will go in. And they've been back just so you've got some writing space on the back of that. So I'm going to pop those in, one like that, one like that. And then they've got the, oh gosh, making hard work for myself. And then they've got the tags that you can use to pull them out. And then if we pop that one in there as well, then I'll back that one first. But yeah, that is it. So we open it out. We've got 2 journal cards that are inside there like that. What I might do with those quickly is just round. I'm not going to be able to round the corner for where I've put that on that one, I don't think. Do you know what? I don't know why I bought this because I really don't like it. It must just be me. I don't know how to use it properly. Okay. So they should slide in there a little bit better. So we've got 2 journal cards inside here, like that. We open this up here. We've got a writing pad. We've got a pocket in there. That I haven't tried to put anything in yet. There we go. We've got a pocket in there. We've got another pocket there. Turn it over. We've got our writing pad here. We've got a pocket in here, like that. And we've got another pocket in there. So I think that just about does us for this project. Yeah. And then, as I said, you can tie this however you like, in a bow, in a whatever, just to keep that closed. And there you have our, I don't even know what it's called. It's like an envelope, folio, journal kind of thing, I suppose. But it was a lot of fun making. I'm going to carry on playing with this now, just because I can, and just because I want to add some more of these flowers. It's quite a strong kit, patterned kit, and so I like to have the little bit of softness dotted around, just like that. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop recording anyway. I hope you enjoyed. Really good to know what you think. Use the comment section below if you've got any questions or any thoughts. Other than that, I will leave it there. As always, stay safe and be well, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.